Guys, when are you going to take action? This video is meant to jolt you guys into action because the reality is I'm seeing a lot of people still with the bear market syndrome. And yeah, I've got members messaging me right now every single day here. This chap has made 1,700 quid on one of our trades. This second trade here, he's on 350 there. People are making money right now here trading in this market. And yet you're still sat there feeling sorry for yourself, still not sure what you want to do, kind of dabbling between a bit of investing, trying a bit of trading, trying a bit of this. Guys, this bull market, I'm trying to urge you guys, this bull market will come and go. And if you do not make the difference now, to make a difference for your life, to invest, to do the things you said you were going to do in the bear market, you're going to miss this opportunity. And there's a lot of people right now still with that bear market syndrome, still sat there thinking, you know what, maybe it's going to come back down again. You know, like a lot of influencers are saying maybe this is going to fall. And guys, the bull market will come and go. This market will not wait for anybody. Already, Bitcoin sat here at 36.6. Even now, it's not having much of a pullback, is it? I mean, if you look at this weekly candle here, look at that weekly candle, guys. This is down 1.2%. You call this a pullback after this extended move? I mean, I will be so happy if it pulls back here into 30 before bouncing. I'll be happy if it bounces even here to 31.8. These will be a pleasure to buy here because look, the EMA ribbon sits at 30. There's no guarantee we're going to get these pullbacks. And this market right now is primed. I mean, we can talk about the dollar index. Look at the dollar index. The dollar index tells you what risk on and risk off is. And what do you notice here, guys? Look at that weekly candle. Last week when it closed on Friday, it closed below its weekly EMA ribbon. And every time it does that, every time on a weekly chart, this chart goes to the downside, risk rotates on, good for growth stocks, good for Bitcoin, and good for altcoins. This is really positive here because I was worried at one point, obviously, when it went on this crazy run here, that it wanted to go higher and higher and higher. But we've managed to send it here back to the downside. Good CPI results this week. Good PPI results this week. Many market participants, over 90% of the market, expect no rate hike at the next FOMC meeting. So we got a clear runway to end this year at the current interest rate, which is feeling really, really positive. People expecting, 90% of the market expecting this Bitcoin spot ETF to get approved. We're getting Ethereum spot ETFs getting filed as well. This market has come on so far, leaps and bounds since the bear market, and yet many people are sat there still with that trauma, still thinking that Bitcoin's going to go to 10, going to go to 8 because their influencer told you so. And there are still some influencers now shouting for a big correction on Bitcoin. Guys, you've got to make hay whilst the sun shines. You've got to let the data lead you. And when it's telling you to be bullish, you've got to make a decision. And when it's telling you to be bearish, you've got to make a decision as well. And there's a lot of people here kind of just sitting on the sidelines. And they'll be like, no, this is a fake. This is fake. This is not the bull run. The bull run's going to come later, guys. This is not it. And yet in the meantime, there are people like the members I just shared with you, ejaz.uk/TG, who are taking advantage. Using the volatility in the charts, making good money. And I'm not saying to everybody become a trader. No, the vast majority of my portfolio is DCA'd, right? It's a long-term hold. Yes, I trade as well short-term. But if, in terms of your DCAs, there's many people who are not buying yet. They're still not buying. I'm like, guys, 36.6. This is very expensive. I've got a lot of friends and people who aren't really into crypto during the bear market who kind of message me say, is now a good time to buy? Now a good time to buy? I'm like, where were you when Bitcoin was 15,500? You were like, no, it's going to fall to 8. It's going to fall to 7. I'll get it then. All right, how's that going for you? And now you're buying at 36? You will buy at the price you deserve, right? If you want to buy Bitcoin now, it's because you like the green candle. You needed the green candles and the excitement to give you confidence in the price. You needed that, right? You needed this to tell you that Bitcoin is doing well. So it is what it is. You needed the fact that we're closer and closer to a spot ETF. You needed the fact that XRP got a positive ruling. You needed the fact that we now moved on in terms of CPI cooling down and PPI cooling down and interest rates coming towards a pause. Right? You weren't willing to buy when it was really bad. When Sam Bankman-Fried was locked up after the biggest cryptocurrency fail. We had the Terra Luna collapse. We had 3 Hours Capital. We had Voyager. Inflation out of control. Things all kicking off. Didn't look like we were going to get a spot ETF. You didn't want to jump in then, did you? And so you will buy at the price you deserve. But you've got to ask yourself the question, where do you see Bitcoin going from here? And if you see Bitcoin, if you've done your projections, if you've done your homework and you think Bitcoin will get to 100K, 150, 200, 250, maybe up to $1 million per Bitcoin, you still got to ask yourself, maybe you'll look back and say this is cheap. And so the question arises, with everything I've just said, explaining how Bitcoin is in the strongest position it's ever been in, from an institutional adoption point of view, from a ETF point of view, from a flow of money point of view, from a marketing perspective as well. People, respecting Bitcoin, the fact that Bitcoin survived until 2024 nearly now. This is all showing that Bitcoin is in a far stronger position than it was previously. And yet we're not even close to all-time highs. All-time highs were 69,000 without the prospect of a spot ETF, right? Without having been battle tested and stress tested through the Terra Luna collapse, through the Sam Bankman-Fried fraud, which could have collapsed the entire system, but it didn't because crypto was strong. Throughout Operation Choke Point, when US governments and many other governments were trying to shut crypto off. It's all just in the past now. It's all just made crypto and the community and the ecosystem a lot stronger. So you got to ask yourself, is that 69,000 target all but achievable and surpassable and surmountable? And my view is absolutely. If you take a look here at the total market cap of crypto, look at the last couple of weekly candlesticks we have just seen. This is nothing. I just want to remind you guys, this is nothing. This is what we've seen, right? 5 weeks here, we had a week here up 8%. 84 billion came into the market. Okay, great. Then the week after, we had 123 billion, another 11%. Then that week, we had 3%, 46 billion, and then a week with 90 billion coming in. This is nothing. Look at the all-time high. The all-time high touched 3 trillion here when Bitcoin hit its all-time high in November 21, 69,000 before crashing into its bear market. If Bitcoin in that moment was able to bring in $3 trillion worth of funds into the crypto space, Bitcoin and all the altcoins, what do we think is going to happen in the future? When we zoom out, what do we think that's going to happen once institutions have a meaningful way to invest? Right? When they have a meaningful way to be able to buy Bitcoin on their balance sheet, to get exposure for a Bitcoin spot ETF, when they've got the likes of BlackRock marketing to their clients, like, why don't you have some Bitcoin exposure? When you've got the likes of Fidelity doing that, and ARK, and all these other big institutions telling their billionaire clients, why don't you have a little bit of exposure to Bitcoin? And it's not even about the fact that these clients are going to be like, yeah, I love Bitcoin. They don't need to love Bitcoin. It's just when their financial advisor goes, hey, just looking at your portfolio, you've got kind of 30% in real estate, you're holding 30% in bonds, you've got a bunch of stocks, and what do you think about putting 1 to 2% in this thing called Bitcoin? It's not seeming to go away. It's been around now, since 2008. It's a solid asset class. It'll give you a bit of a hedge protection as well. Then you're like, yeah, go do it. And then when that 1.1 to 2% of big money starts to come into crypto, 3 trillion is going to be nothing. 3 trillion is what we did in 2021 November. Right? And when people start to understand that, you start to understand that 69,000, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, is there to be eclipsed. And so the question comes back to you guys. When are you going to take action? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Now, when I say that doesn't mean you jump on this video, you start FOMOing in and buying at 36.6 because you feel motivated by my video. Then I've taught you nothing. You wait for positions of strength. You wait for it to pull back. You choose your time frame. Let's say it's the daily time frame, and you wait for this price action to pull back into the daily EMA ribbon. You guys know better than to be chasing on green candles, right? You buy closer to the EMA ribbon. So for all those people trying to chase all the way here in the EMA when we extended, you don't want to do that. Wait for these pullbacks. Wait for these corrections, and look to buy from positions of strength. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully that motivated you. Hopefully that kicked a bunch of you into action, because the reality is I was just talking to the community and I'm seeing a bunch of the community, a bunch of people in crypto still stuck with that post-traumatic stress of a bear market. And it's normal. But do not let that stress, that pain, that negativity which you experience day in, day out in the crypto market make you forget of how crypto can pump, week after week after week. And if you're not in the market, you'll miss out on those gains. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you like it, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope to see a bunch of you in our Telegram group, hr's.uk/TG. We seriously have crazy results in there. I share alpha, I share tips, I share my trade setups and how I take my trades, what patterns I like to use, etc. So definitely jump on in over there. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.